In a year which saw the continuance of the COVID-19 pandemic, 2021 saw your favorite soaps finding ways to work under safety and health protocols to bring you the stories you love the best they could, but it was not fraught with some problems along the way. Now as the year comes to a close, we take a look back with our annual list of the best and worst in soaps. As it does every year, Michael Fireman TV takes this opportunity to pay tribute to the tremendous work of the talented men and women in front of the camera and behind the scenes, whose tireless efforts in the grind of producing and acting in this genre's format is a feat in of itself. In addition to naming the best moments and performances of the year, there were several not-so-stellar moments featuring characters, storylines, and more, that get the dubious honor of some of our worsts. While we know many of you have your own views, picks, and choices, and while you may disagree or agree with ours, we encourage you to let us know your thoughts as well. Most of all, respect everyone's opinions, as you wish them to respect yours. Finally, we want to wish our wonderful community here at Michael Fireman TV and soap fans everywhere, a Happy New Year. It is all of you with your passion and devotion to the genre itself, which make this such a unique entertainment medium with an undeniable connection between the viewers, the performers, and the storylines. So here we go, the best and worst in soaps, and with that, 2021 out. Best soap: General Hospital. Day to day, week to week, the soap that delivered the most through 2021 was General Hospital. Wasn't by any means sheer perfection, and had its share of relationship and storyline issues, but whether you loved Nixon Falls or not, or Britt with Jason, or Carly with Jason, Sonny, and Nina, or were upset about Franco's death, or Peter continuing to exist on this earth, more on this later, or loved the introduction of the Sora's Spencer Cassadine, the show retooled the Quartermaines, the Cassadines, and all along the way gave emotional payoffs and big cliffhangers. Most entertaining soap: Days of Our Lives. The last 6 months of 2021, Days of Our Lives seemed to find its groove, balancing the kitsch with the drama, and it all really got cooking with the Marlena Possession storyline 2.0 harkening back to its brilliance, some 27 years later. Days was clearly the most entertaining soap with a plethora of wink-winks to the audience, snappy dialogue and humor, an excellent use of history, and a cast and a writing team that trusted the material, and it paid off. Most disappointing soap: The Young and the Restless. The once mighty Y&R became the hardest show to sit through. The storylines were boring, the pairings often felt like retreads, the rooting factor was basically non-existent for anyone, and it gets our pick for the most disappointing soap. When you have an A-list cast with some of the finest actors in the genre in one place, and the stories just aren't there for them, and many scenes feel like they go nowhere, it's a head-scratcher. The show needs a boost of adrenaline. Photo: JPI. Best Limited Series: Days of Our Lives. Beyond Salem, truly the most enjoyable, fun romp of the year in soaps. It had to be a hoot and a half for head writer Ron Carlivati and his team to develop this 5-episode story about the missing gems from the Alamanian Peacock. There were the inside Lisa Rinna jokes, including integrating the infamous rope drink and face fight with Eileen Davidson recreated Beyond Salem style, plus Sonny, Will, and Chad in drag, Leo saving the day, Charles Shaughnessy back as twins Drew and Shane, Peter Port as an uptight spy who turns out to be a Von Leuschner, and it was also kitschy, in a genius kind of way that it left us wanting more. Photo: ABC. Best Overall Performance by an Actress. Laura Wright, Carly Corinthus. General Hospital. Scene after scene in 2021, Laura Wright did some of the finest work of her daytime career, and that is saying something, because she has already delivered so many memorable performances. But this year, whether it was a grieving Carly grappling with the loss of her beloved Sonny, stepping up and taking control of the mob, her complicated relationship with Jason, and falling back in love with him, and then the return of a very much alive Sonny and the volatile relationship with her nemesis, Nina Reeves, Laura had the material day after day, and gave us 110% as an actress through it all. Bravo. Photos: JPI and ABC. Best Performance by an Actress in a Storyline. Melissa Clare Egan, Chelsea's Stroke, The Young and the Restless Cynthia Watros, Nina and Mike in Nixon Falls, General Hospital Cameron Grimes, Mariah's Kidnapping and Aftermath, The Young and the Restless Lisa Lo Cicero, Olivia finds out Alexis and Ned had sex, General Hospital. These 4 actresses along with Laura Wright may just be vying for the Daytime Emmy in 2022, whether it be in lead or supporting. Each one of these women delivered complex performances within their storylines. Melissa Claire Egan is stroke victim Chelsea, who gets her revenge on Adam and Sharon that comes with consequences, Cynthia Watros for her brilliant work opposite Maurice Benard in the Tano Gang and its aftermath in Port Charles, Cameron Grimes, who's seen by herself in lockup, in a storyline we hated, after being kidnapped while pregnant were well done, and the hurt of longing for the baby she carried months later showed why she remains one of the strongest actresses on Daytime. And there was Lisa Lo Cicero for the heartbreaking moments as Olivia finds out that Ned slept with Alexis and then the volatile showdown between the 2 women over the tryst. All deserved mentions in our year-end honors. Photo: ABC Best Single Performance by an Actress in a Storyline. Kirsten Storms, Maxie frames Peter and reveals she knows of his deception. General Hospital. While in the hospital, Maxie, pretending she lost her baby, in an effort to get Peter to admit to his crimes, was played by pure brilliance by Kirsten Storms. Finally, taking control of the situation, Maxie records Peter's confession of those he murdered on her phone, which she sends to Mac, all along the way telling Peter how disgusted she is by him. Best line though: "I would say you're as bad as your father, but you're not. At least, Faison was an evil genius. You're just some cheap imitation knockoff." Got that right. Photo: ABC Best Overall Performance by an Actor. Maurice Benard, Sonny Corinthus, General Hospital. While the Mike and Nixon Falls story went on too long, it provided Maurice Benard with an opportunity to show another side of a character than mob boss Sonny Corinthus, and pair him with another leading lady, Cynthia Watros, to form a potential new couple. All of this on top of Benard's scenes with Sonny's wife, Carly, whose relationship has now hit the skids, provided this 3-time Daytime Emmy winner a backdrop to do something different, and prove once again that he is still the finest actor in the genre. Photo: ABC Best Overall Performance by a Supporting Actor. James Patrick Stewart, Valentine Pasadine, General Hospital. Whether it be romancing Anna, and sharing scenes with the fabulous Finola Hughes, or trying to take down Peter August, or his machinations with the Quartermaines, or being duped by Brooklyn, and his devastation over finding out that Bailey was not his biological daughter, we always enjoy all things JPS. He delivers episode to episode and continues to make Valentine's reactions and actions intriguing. Photo: JPI Best Single Performance by an Actor in a Storyline. Ted King, Jack admits to Lee his secret about Sheila and Finn, the bold and the beautiful. It has been great to see Ted King back on Daytime. The former GH and OLTL star always delivered in his scenes, and he had his moment to shine in 2021, when Jack admitted to his wife, Lee, that he lied all of these years about their son, Finn. In actuality, Jack had a fling with the dangerous and psychotic Sheila Carter, and he is Finn's true biological father. The whole situation was made all the more heartbreaking because Lee believed they adopted the little boy, when in truth, Jack covered up his tryst for decades. King played all the beats in these key scenes. He was understated in his performance, and this went under the soap press radar, but you could see all the pain in Jack's eyes, thanks to Ted King's work. Sometimes less is more in front of the camera. Photo: JPI Best Performance by long-running veterans Bill and Susan Seaforth Hayes, Doug and Julie Williams, Days of Our Lives. Doug as the devil was delicious. Julie standing up to Mar-Devil was a moment. The Daytime Emmy Lifetime Achievement Award winners had the opportunity to act in great scenes about faith, strength and love, played to perfection by these 2 television treasures. Work provided some of the most memorable moments during Satan's return to Salem. Photo: JPI Best Overall Performance by a Supporting Actress. Kelly Thibault, Britt Westbourne, General Hospital. This year, Kelly Thibault truly got to show all the facets of Drive. Britt Westbourne, when she was afraid to know and then learned she had the marker for Huntington's disease, her struggle with the information and falling for Jason Morgan, then losing him, made this once Port Charles bad girl someone we truly truly cared about. In addition, Brit's scenes of grief with Carly over Jason's death and more, made Kelly's performances must-see daytime TV. Courtesy/CBS Best Performance in an On-Screen Breakup. Michelle Stafford, Phyllis Summers, The Young and the Restless. No one can deliver the kind of balls-to-the-wall performance that Y&R's Michelle Stafford can. She did it again, in a series of powerful and heartbreaking scenes, where Phyllis realizes she will always be Nick's second choice to the Newman family. Combine that with Nick knowing that Phyllis' feelings for her ex, Jack Abbott, are back. It was combustion central for Fick and they ended their relationship. Stafford should remember this scene come Emmy submission time. Best Ensemble Performance. The cast of Days of Our Lives, Beyond Salem. Everyone was so much fun to watch. From Eileen Davidson, Rinna, Jackie Cox, Greg Ricard, Shaughnessy, Zach Tinker, the list goes on, and it truly was the best ensemble performance of the year, and it looked like everyone had a great time being part of the limited series. Best Feud. Nina Reeves and Carly Corinthus, General Hospital. When Carly went at Nina over Nell's death on a phone call, just as Nina found Sonny alive and well in Nixon Falls, it set up a series of events that had now pitted these two powerhouse women against each other, and the feud is one of the best on daytime due to Cynthia Watros and Laura Wright's performances. Photo, JPI Best Villain, Female. Deidre Hall, Mar Devil, Days of Our Lives. When Satan comes to town and inhabits Marlena, the Mar Devil comes out to play and terrorized everyone in Salem with delicious venom, and we were here for it. Best Villain, Male. Mike Manning, Charlie's Tale, Days of Our Lives. Mike Manning made Charlie creepy and misunderstood, and someone everyone in town wanted dead, and eventually he met his maker in a solid whodunit. Best Scene Stealer. Deidre Hall, Mar Devil, Days of Our Lives. Deidre Hall looked like she was having the time of her life, chewing the scenery as Satan and getting to take a pause from being the moral center of Days to be able to do and say things Doc would never utter out of her mouth, including calling her own daughters Belle and Sammy sluts. Photo, JPI Best Unexpected Scene. Susan and Age in the hospital, Days of Our Lives. After the devil made mincemeat out of Susan Banks, she recovered in the hospital where her son Age sat by her side. When Susan said she was willing to sacrifice herself to save her son from Satan, it brought with it an unexpected mother/son scene we never saw previously between the grown-up Age and Susan, and played by two actors who were both successful recasts in their roles. Cheers to Stacey Hayduke and Dan Furigal. Photo, JPI Best Comeback. Cameron Matheson back to ABC Daytime. The All My Children fan favorite, ex-Ryan Lavery, turned host, turned Hallmark and GAC family star, returned to ABC Daytime decades later where it all started for him, this time as a recast Drew Kane on GH. Now, while his story on General Hospital is just getting started, we think Matheson will fit in nicely with the cast that he has admired so much, and on the show he has dreamt of appearing on. Welcome home, Cam. Photo, JPI Worst Exit. Lindsay Godfrey, Sarah Horton, Days of Our Lives. To facilitate Lindsay Godfrey's exit from Days, the writers once again fell back into old tricks, or should we say, old prosthetic masks. This time, Kristen pretended to be Sarah to sleep with Rex, and break up her relationship to Xander, even though Kristen and Sarah are nowhere near the same height. Then, Sarah is put in a steamer trunk and snuck her out of Salem. What? Worst Exit. Honorable mention: Kim Delaney, Jackie Templeton, General Hospital. We love Kim Delaney, and all of a sudden, her heralded return to soaps and GH came to an abrupt end after the entire Who is Harrison's Real Bio dead story, and apparently Jackie Templeton left Port Charles. We guess to do some Cracker Jack reporting? Dunno. Photo, JPI Most Highly Anticipated Returns. Kimberlyn Brown and Sean Cannon, The Bold and the Beautiful, with two of daytime's all-time baddies back on the canvas. You would think that B&B would have hit a home run, but so far, it's been a wait-and-see approach, as fans long for the days that Sheila and Deacon perpetrate bad deeds on people for their own gain. However, we may be in luck. Looks like Sheila might be finally digging her psychotic heels into Brooke with the Naboo switch, while Deacon seduced Brooke. Jury is out. B&B. Don't botch this. Photo, JPI Worst Return. Sean Kerrigan, Stitch, The Young and the Restless. This was so predictable, and so bad. Former fan favorite, Sean Kerrigan, returns as Stitch, and everyone had already figured out, Even before he set foot on the airshows, that he would be the culprit, the person who had kidnapped a pregnant Mariah. Then later, we get his twisted reasoning for holding a preggers woman captive, apparently, because of his love and past with Abby. All of this made no sense for this character. Photo, JPI worst hit and run. Liam runs over Vinny and Bill's car. The bold and the beautiful. This storyline, which went on for months, had Liam and Bill covering up their tracks after mowing down bad boy Vinny, who just happened to be walking out in the middle of the road at night at the exact time Bill's car showed up. Trouble is, it turned out to be a suicide storyline? Apparently. Vinny sacrificed himself for his buddy Thomas, so Thomas could get closer to Hope, and that's after switching paternity results to make it look like Liam was Hayes' father, not Finn. While we had liked Joe Lo Cicero as Vinny, this ending was a bad comeuppance, and even though Scott Clifton and Don Diamont acted their hearts out episode after episode, in the end the story came to a screeching halt and thud. Wasn't there even a PSA for suicide prevention after the reveal? Most missed opportunity. Elizabeth learns about Jason's death off screen. General Hospital. Liz shares a son with the guy, and Rebecca Herbst does not get any screen time to show Elizabeth's reaction to Jason's supposed death? Come on now. Photo, JPI Best Recast Limited Series. Zach Tinker, Sonny Kyriakis, Days of Our Lives, Beyond Salem and Days of Our Lives. A Very Salem Christmas. We were very impressed with Zach Tinker's version of Sonny Kyriakis, and that right out of the gate he was dealt some very heavy emotional scenes in Beyond Salem when Sonny believed Will was cheating on him. Zach replaced longtime fan favorite, Freddie Smith, and a new version of Will's son was born. Photo, JPI Best Recast. Dan Furigal, Itch Tamara, Days of Our Lives. Dan has brought his A-game as the recast Itch Tamara, a role that was made so wildly popular when played by James Scott, but Furigal is putting his own spin on the part and making it work. Photo, JPI Best Return Limited Run. Blake Berries, Nick Fallon, Days Halloween episode / Days of Our Lives, A Very Salem Christmas. Berries is a very fine actor and it was on display twice. First, in Days Zombie Halloween episode when the Mar-Devil awakens evil from their graves. It is then, Nick is back in action terrorizing Gabby, and then in the Flip in the Peacock Holiday Special, Nick is very much alive, playing the longing suitor for Gabby's affections. Berries should come back to Days as Nick's twin, Mick. Can we make that happen? Days writing team? Photo, JPI Best New Character. Paulina Price, played by Jackie Harry, Days of Our Lives. Writing a role for Jackie, and playing to her strengths, while ramping up the Price family backstory was a triple win for Days. Courtesy /ABC Best Newcomer. Nicholas Alexander Chavez, Spencer Cassadine. General Hospital fans took notice and instantly fell in love with Nicholas' work as Azor's Spencer Cassadine. Spencer's return was one of the best of 2021, which showed the emotional damage done to the young man who has a vengeful streak willing to go up against the likes of his father Nicolas, Ava, and Valentine while pining for Trina, and being shoehorned into a relationship with evildoer, Esme. Good stuff. Photo, ABC Best Tribute. John Riley Tribute, General Hospital. When GH was able to get the one and only Sharon Wyatt, ex-Tiffany Hill, to do a voiceover, and John Riley's daughter, Caitlin, acting in central to the story all the while paying homage to the spy stories of the past, it was a solid episode to honor one of the show's most beloved all-time cast members. Biggest waste of airtime. Jesse Gaines, the young and the restless weeks of being held up in Italy in a room, threatening to expose Ashlyn's past, but it was all a setup, and by the end of it, who cared? Anyone? Photo, JPI Best. Great to see you on daytime again. Linda Dano, Vivian Alaming, Days of Our Lives. Although it was short-lived and Louise Sorel did not return to be part of the plot, we loved seeing Linda Dano back on daytime, even for a short blip, and this time taking on the role of Vivian Alaming. She's still one of the best of the best. Courtesy /ABC Character. WHO deserved the biggest bitch slap. Peter August, General Hospital. Line em up. GH's Peter August deserved 1,000 of these. Where do we start? Peter August has escaped the once smartest spies, killed multiple key characters, held some captive, obsessed over Maxie and their baby, and everyone wants him dead. We can't think of anyone who deserves to be bitch slapped by one person after the other in Port Charles than Peter aka Henrik. Photo, JPI character WHO dished out the best bitch slaps Steffi Forrester, the bold and the beautiful whenever she could. Steffi bitch slapped Sheila to Kingdom Come, once the evil one showed up at Steffi's wedding to Finn in the fallout. We assume Sheila grabbed an ice bag after those bops to the face? Best performance in a primetime soap: male Adam Huber, Liam Ridley, Dynasty, playing off scenes with his on-screen love interest, Elizabeth Gillies. Fallon has let Huber show other facets to his character of Liam. Now we enjoy the guy. Courtesy/CW Best Performance in a Primetime Soap: female Elizabeth Gillies, Fallon Carrington, Dynasty. Fallon makes CW's Dynasty go round, and whether it be drama, high camp or musical moments, Elizabeth Gillies is the star of the show and can be anywhere else she chooses to go. Courtesy/CW Best Primetime Soap: Dynasty. Still the soap on steroids with all the tropes including bombshells and double-crossing of a double-crossing. You will need a scorecard each episode to follow along which character does the most despicable thing, but we are here for it. Most tortured couple: Sonny and Carly. General Hospital. Nothing went right in 2021 for Carson. Sonny was presumed dead for a good portion of the year, believing he was a man named Mike and living a life in Nixon Falls and falling for a deceitful Nina Reeves. Carly stepped up and in for Sonny to protect the Corinthus mob territory by originally having a marriage arrangement with Jason. However, Carly and Jason found themselves falling for each other again circa the 90s, and on their wedding night, as they were about to have sex, Sonny shows up alive and well. Now, Sonny has been all confused for his feelings for Nina since regaining his memory. Jason is dead, and the relationship has blown apart and it looks like the end of the line. For now for this storied duo. Photo, JPI Worst Wedding. Kyle and Summer the Young and the Restless. Not only did the popular duo of Skyle exit the canvas, they got married off camera, so no one saw the long-awaited nuptials, and the two actors, Michael Mealer and Hunter King, left the show after reports of contract negotiations falling through. Photo, ABC Best Couple in the Making. Sabrina, General Hospital. Everyone is loving the on-screen chemistry played by Sydney Michaela and Nicholas Alexander Chavez as Trina and Spencer. Now will they be headed for a romance in 2022? Photo, ABC Worst Couple and Most Boring Couple. Michael and Willow, General Hospital. These two are double winners this year. Michael Corinthus and Willow Tate have become so boring that GH is now coming up with ways to instigate trouble between them that it is so apparent to the audience and you can see it coming a mile away. Chad Jewell and Caitlin McMullen are very good actors, they just aren't an exciting pairing as Michael and Willow. Break them up for good, already. Photo, JPI Best Couple. Sami and Lucas, Days of Our Lives. Allison Sweeney and Brian Totillo have a long and enduring friendship, and an on-screen partnership that just works so well. Many loved seeing Lumi reconnect in 2021. Sami, of course, despondent overage, sleeps with Lucas and thus starts the story, but it was all done with great flashbacks, comedy and more. What will happen in 2022 when Sami finds out Lucas was the one who kidnapped her? It probably will end any possibility of them ever becoming a bona fide couple, as it looks like Ajami is the endgame. Courtesy/ABC Best Performance by an Actress in a Standalone Episode. Nancy Lee Graham, Alexis Davis, General Hospital. I'm Alexis Davis, and I'm a fighter, and an idealist, and an advocate. True that. In a well-crafted story, Nancy Lee Graham celebrated her 25th anniversary on GH with a special episode dedicated to Alexis. In a therapy session with Kevin, we come to the crux of the story. Alexis looked over in the corner of the room at a vision of her younger self crying. In that moment, Alexis embraced herself, forgave herself, so she could move on with her life after being guilt-ridden for the death of her mother and the cruelty of her father. Beautiful work from La Gran. Courtesy/NBC Best Performance by an Actor in a Standalone Episode. James Reynolds, Abe Carver, Days of Our Lives. James Reynolds might be going for his second lead actor Emmy after this performance. In it, and to honor the actor's 40th anniversary as Abe Carver on Days, the show had Abe shot and then flatlining, which means Abe was going to the light. There, he meets up with his beloved ex-wife Lexi, and while the audience is shown flashbacks of their life together, it's Reynolds acting against an actress, whose face is unseen, since Renee Jones was unavailable for the episode, that brought all the heart and the drama, which is why we in turn are invested in the life of Abe Carver. And, don't we all grab for the hankies when James brings the tears? Photo, JPI Best Storyline. The Devil Returns to Salem, Days of Our Lives. While for many they found this story ridiculous, we found ourselves wanting to fast forward through episodes of Days just to get to all the moments of Marlena's possession 2.0 and all that came with it. From the outlandish dialogue, the special effects soap style, how Daredevil served up revenge by morphing into OG Kristen, or taking Looney Tunes Jan Spears and morphing her into Belle, plus having a Rosemary's Baby angle to boot with a Sin Baby on the way, and more. It was fun to see what happened next. The best twist was letting the audience think that Doug had dementia when he actually had been possessed by the devil, which then allowed Satan to take over Marlena. And didn't we all love the exorcism episode, too? Great use of history, camp, and it allowed for some solid performances from longtime vets that had to be having too much fun playing those scenes. Worst storyline moment: Paris laxatives ruin her romantic evening with Sind, the Bold and the Beautiful. In an effort to thwart her sister's budding romance with Sind Forrester, Zoe puts laxatives in the smoothie she gave to her sister, Paris, which gave her gas and an upset tummy during her date. Enough said. Photo, JPI Worst Storyline: Eric said in giving permission for Quinn and Carter to have sex, The Bold and the Beautiful. The Bold and the Beautiful had the opportunity to truly tell a story about erectile dysfunction in older men, but instead made it ridiculous and tried to justify it. While we absolutely love Lawrence Samvictor and Rena Sofer as Carter and Quinn, and John McCook as Eric, are we expected to believe that Eric would give permission for his wife to carry on her affair with the stud that is Carter because he can't please her anymore in the bedroom? But that's actually nothing compared to the Donna Honey scene, which got Eric all riled up and fixed his problem, complete with music bed crescendo. Most preposterous plot twist and character: WHO needs to get his comeuppance. Characters sacrificed to keep Peter August's reign of terror continuing. General Hospital: Franco, Drew, Jason, and more have all at one time or another been killed or supposedly killed due to the machinations of Peter August. Even after setting fire to the Tanzero and Nixon Falls and jumping off a cliff or something, Peter escapes all the time, every moment of every day. Even the smartest all-time WSB agents, including super spy Anna Devane, can't stay a step ahead of him. How can one evildoer have so much power? Don't the good guys get a win, Eva? Are we ready for the murder mystery of who permanently snuffed this guy out? Courtesy/ABC Best Tearjerker: Baby Liam's death. General Hospital: It was controversial to have a little baby being taken off life support over the holidays, but General Hospital went there. Within it, Liam's parents struggled over what they had to do, and found themselves in inconsolable grief. As young parents and a young couple trying to deal with the cards they were dealt, both Sophia Matson, Sasha, and Johnny Wachter, Brando, stepped up to the plate and gave us a 10 hanky moment, culminating in a visit from the late Mike Corbin, Max Gale, who takes baby Liam back to heaven with him. Photos, ABC Biggest Headline: Ingo Rademacher and Steve Burton get fired from GH after not adhering to vaccine mandate. Both actors were willing to lose their jobs over their anti-vax stance during the COVID-19 pandemic. Disney/ABC mandates all employees to be vaccinated, while Burton shared one message on his reasons for